with Dr. Benita Zahn.
Welcome. Grieving at any time is difficult to do, but during the pandemic, when we've been apart from our loved ones, it's even more trying. So how do we get through this time? Natalia Burkart is with CDPDP, but she recently lost her dad. She's with us along with Dr. Vanessa Bobb, and she is the Behavioral Health Medicine Director for Children's Services with CDPDP. Good to see both of you ladies.
Oh, thank you for having us.
I want to start with you, Natalia. You were very close to your dad. You've written so poignantly about him. Not being able, as I said in the introduction, not being able to stand shoulder to shoulder, arm in arm, and hug those who have always given you support and support. Share with us how that changed the grieving process for you.
Sure. Yes. You know, as so many other folks have this year, I had an immeasurable loss in the loss of my dad. And, you know, add to that the weight of a pandemic and the holiday season. And I really felt like I needed some extra support and some extra guidance when it came to handling this situation. For me, writing is therapy. So I took to the CDPDP blog and I was able to connect with Dr. Bobb, who's an incredible CDPDP resource. And I was able to put together a piece that I hope helped others as it helped me try to navigate this season.
We'll get to some of the things you shared. Dr. Bobb, the first thing or things people should keep in mind when they endure a loss during this time, because it is so different, what do you suggest to them?
So I think, you know, loss at any time is really difficult. And even right now, during the pandemic, there's loss on several different levels. So can be the loss of loved ones. So either from natural causes or and particularly related to COVID. And there's also the loss of the things that we usually do. So for a lot of kids and teenagers, they didn't have their proms, they didn't go to summer camp, they're missing lots of school. So these are becoming sort of cumulative losses over I guess all of 2020.
Yeah, and I know some people say, how can you compare, right, no prom to the loss of a parent? It is a loss. It's an organic sense, you know, a hit to the body. And Natalia, what did you want to make sure that you shared with folks so they felt empowered, they didn't feel so alone?
One of the things that I sought out Dr. Bobb's expertise on was, you know, I'm also a parent. So I wanted to know how I was able to navigate myself through the grief, but also my kids' grief. And one of the things she shared was to allow my kids to see me upset, allow them to see me grieve, because hiding it or trying to downplay it was only going to, you know, make it worse in the end. So I think it's important that, you know, when I'm grieving and my kids are grieving, you know, that we're acknowledging that and we're getting it out in the open, especially again during the holiday season. It's, you know, I think it has, for me anyway, and I'm sure for many others, exacerbated these feelings of grief.
Why, Dr. Bobb, is it important? I know a lot of folks want to appear very strong and stoic for their kids. They think that's important.
Yeah, so I think part of just expressing emotions, that's part of life. And people can do better if they actually express it and get it out. Parents don't necessarily want to fall apart in front of their children, but there are ways to, it's very helpful to be able to model positive and good coping. So, you know, being cheerful, missing someone, and thinking about them, telling good stories, having your children converse, that's just really being able to help engage them and let them know it's okay to have feelings. Some of the other things that folks will do is, Natalia mentioned that she's a writer. Journaling is very, very helpful and important, just really writing your feelings out. One of the things that people will do is when they're feeling strong emotions, they might not be able to label it. Is it sadness? Is it anger? Is it frustration? Is it longing? And if they can put down and start putting labels and names to the exact feelings and kind of write out what it is, what are the thoughts that go along with it. It's a way of purging. And
then sharing like you're doing now, Natalia. I take a look at the clock. It always moves too fast when the conversation is this good and thought-provoking. One thing you'd like to leave everyone with, Natalia?
I think that, you know, this time has been difficult for anybody, and those, especially those of us that are experiencing loss. I encourage people to maintain connections, whether it's virtually, whether it's, safely, being able to find a way to still connect especially during the holidays, sharing the memories of loved ones and making sure that we're making time for ourselves at this point too.
Natalia Burkart, Dr. Vanessa Bobb, both with CDP, HP, both from different perspectives, but sharing from the heart and really valuable information here. Ladies, I wish you a happy and a healthy new year and a lighter heart, Natalia. And thanks for spending time with us. We'll see you next time.